I remember when I was going through the process of building myself up as this relationship coach, as an author, I went through, I want to say, a couple years of not going out at all, not taking any trips, not going out, not buying new clothes, all with the mindset of, I need to push all of that into what I'm trying to build. I need to push that into the purpose God has given me and work on that. And yeah, I wasn't having fun. Yeah, it wasn't the most pleasant experience. It was a grind, but that's what it takes in most cases to reach success. You would have a very difficult time talking to any successful person that doesn't have a story of making sacrifice. Okay? So that could be a personal lesson, but that's also a lesson for what you need to evaluate when you are dealing with these men who want you to accept their potential and build with them. And I think a great question to ask them is, what are you willing to sacrifice? What lengths are you willing to go to build? Not to mention, this is also coming to me now, is what do you view as my role in this process for you right now? What are you looking for me to do? Because some men will tell on themselves. Some men are going to tell you from the jump how much they expect you to do so much of the work, if not all of it. You know what I'm saying? Again, I always say, you let someone talk long enough, they will expose themselves in most cases. So you want to ask questions rather than just jump on the idea of, no, I believe in him. I see all this greatness in him. I'm going to ride with him. He might ride you right into a ditch. So you got to be careful with that. But ultimately, you can't control what he does. So you've got to be careful of putting yourself in a scenario where that's going to become a huge problem for you. All right, so now the next one. And I think this is a huge one that a lot of women do not consider. And that is, can you respect him if you have to lead him to success? So let me give you a scenario. You'll have a situation where a woman meets a man, he's down on his luck or he's struggling or whatever. He just hasn't built himself up yet. She goes for that struggle love. She goes for that dating for his potential. And let's say in this situation, they are actually able to produce success. Now, I want to be very specific. Though the success was produced, it was through a lot of her leadership, a lot of her pushing buttons, making things happen, doing the work. So it wasn't really this man putting it on his back and her just kind of encouraging and supporting. No, it was her really doing it and him going along for the ride. And now when he finally gets there, I have to mention this. The crazy thing in a lot of these situations, that man becomes successful and ends up leaving that woman. Not all, but we've heard it, we've seen it, okay? Because again, a lot of times he just went along for the ride because he knew you could get him there, but he wasn't with you for you, okay? He was with you because you provided the resources and the means to get to where he desired or would hope to be. But then on the flip side of that, even when the man does not leave her, the issue that arises is that the woman doesn't actually respect the man because she will always feel like, I made you. I did this. I am the creator of your success. See, it's different when you can view it as, I poured into a man who put in the work himself. Because in that scenario, you can still respect him, you can still honor him, you can still revere him. You got to see his growth. You got to see how he pushed himself to this better place. So in that scenario, you can actually gain even more respect for someone because you got to see the whole process. See, that's different from just seeing someone successful. You don't know the grind they went through. But when you see what the grind that man went through, that can even add more to it, more love, more respect. But when you know there wasn't no grind for him, the grind was you. That changes everything. And so now you find yourself still unhappy with this man. you find yourself still being able to honor and respect him in the way that he will need. Because see, when he wasn't that guy yet, when he wasn't in that successful position, and you probably had disrespectful moments, let me tell you, they come out. The women in these situations, whether they realize it or not, them disrespectful moments come out. Because again, let's call it for what it is. To that woman, that's her son. And she gonna speak down to him like that's her son, right? But because he's in the position that he needs you, and he knows you doing the work, he has to take it. He accepts it. And honestly, he know he can't get this anywhere else. So he's going to roll along with all your disrespect. He's going to go along with your moments of lack of love, whatever, because you're frustrated, because you're drained. And I'm not even saying it to just like cast this bad light on the woman. It's just saying what actually happens in these scenarios. But now that he's successful, he ain't trying to put up with it no more. Now that he's successful, he got options. So one of the reasons why that man moves on to another woman isn't simply because he was plotting and planning the whole time to leave you. It's because the relationship has no quality, has no love. It was so based off of getting this man to this place. And what happens for a lot of women is they become attached to the investment they have made in this man. So now, even though it's an unhealthy, unhappy relationship, she doesn't want to walk away because she still wants a return on that investment. But for that man, he's not happy, but again, he has to go along. So again, this is one of those moments where I feel like I may need a whole different video just to go even deeper into this. But the point is, you really have to ask yourself, if I have to do too much, there's a line that gets crossed in what you have to do, the work that you put in, that can cause you to no longer respect the man the same. And you gotta be honest with yourself about what that line is, and express that, because this thing will not work out in the long run if it's crossed. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. Relationships are the key to a successful life. But there's 5 areas that we have to be mindful of when it comes to relationships. There's relationship with God, relationship with ourselves, relationship with family and friends,